So you're very welcome back to the channel. We have a lovely few suggestions coming in from our USA Reacts. But before we get into that, if this is your first time on the channel, do not forget to
like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell. And if you're back with us again, thank you.
So what are we reacting on today, Danielle?
So today, James, we've been sent teachings in the USA versus the rest of the world. Ooh.
So, as always, we love to watch these with you guys, so let's learn together. Let's go!
This is Anna. She just graduated from college in the United States. And this is Sophia. She also just graduated from college in Finland. Anna and Sophia both want to be middle school teachers, but it turns out there's a good chance their experiences will be very different. So different that Anna is twice as likely as Sophia to leave teaching for good. That's causing a problem. The supply of new certified teachers in the United States is shrinking, but the number of public school students keeps growing.
Massive teacher shortages.
Warnings about teacher turnover.
Educators call Colorado's teacher shortage a crisis.
So what makes Sophia stay and Anna leave? And how can the United States keep more of its teachers in the classroom? In the US, teachers work about 9.25 hours a day. That's an hour and a half longer than the average for teachers in other countries in the Organization for Economic Development, or OECD for short. That's a group of mostly wealthy countries that economists often compare to one another. Teachers in the US work more than 2.5 hours longer than their colleagues in South Korea, Finland, and Israel. There are some countries with similar teacher work hours to the United States, like New Zealand, Singapore, and the UK. Teachers in Japan, for example, work nearly 2 hours more per day than teachers in the US.
That's a long time.
But in all of these countries, teaching hours are much lower. Of the 9.25 hours that American teachers work every day, they spend about 5.5 of those hours actually teaching. That's more than the OECD average, and significantly more than teachers in New Zealand, the UK, South Korea, Japan, and Singapore. Teachers in these countries get more time for planning, grading, and collaborating with each other. So do all those extra teaching hours translate to better results? Students in the US score slightly above the OECD average on the PISA exam, which tests 15-year-olds all over the world in reading, science, and math. But they score lower than students in countries like Finland, South Korea, Japan, and Singapore, where teaching hours are much lower. If we look inside Anna and Sophia's classrooms in the US and Finland, we'd see Anna teaching an hour and a half more per day than Sophia. Anna also spends more time planning lessons, grading student work, and leading extracurricular activities. But those extra hours aren't necessarily reflected in Anna's paycheck. If you compare Sophia to other people in Finland with college degrees, she makes about 98 cents for every dollar that they make. That's on par with the pay ratio between teachers and college graduates in similar countries. But Anna and other American middle school teachers only make about 65 cents for every dollar that their college-educated peers make.
Where's the incentive?
Still, as politicians in the US never tire of pointing out, we spend
more per student than almost any country, I think.
Than nearly every other country in the developed world.
But that figure varies a lot by state. New York spends twice as much as California on each student. Mississippi spends less than half as much as Alaska. And American schools generally spend a lot more on security and other non-instructional costs than schools in other countries. Plus, if you look at the share of its national wealth, or GDP, that each country spends on education, you can see there are plenty of countries spending a bigger share than the US. There's one other difference between Anna and Sophia. When they're asked whether people in their country value teachers, 2 out of 3 Finnish teachers say yes. But just 1 in 3 American teachers agree.
That's a big difference.
There are a lot of reasons why teachers like Anna leave the classroom. But if the US wants to keep more of them around, we might want to take a few pages from Finland's book.
Definitely. So first off, a very big shout out to the original content creator. Do make sure you check them out, give them a like, subscribe, and share, and all that good YouTube stuff. The alarming rate of teachers in America is scary. That is going to be very bad for future generations if that problem is not fixed. But you can't force anyone to do anything. There has to be an incentive somewhere. What do you think of that, Danielle?
It's scary to see. I know America spends a lot of money on students and schools, but it's so scary to see that most of that, well, I'm not going to say most, but a portion of that money goes to security and goes to cameras and surveillance around the school because, you know, the issues that's going on with America right now. That's very upsetting to see.
Yeah.
It is very upsetting to see. So that's not a nice statistic for America to have, in my opinion, anyway. And yes, teachers definitely need to be paid more because they're shaping the future of that country. Pay them more money.
Exactly. They play a massive role in what way the countries are going to turn out and what type of economic performance we're going to have, the workforce and everything. So without the teachers, the future won't be so bright. Never mind no CO2 emissions.
No, it won't be though. So it's very important. And the fact that they're spending more time teaching, but it's not reflecting too well. It's not. They need to cut down the hours too.
Yeah, like that's a lot of hours for teaching. Like, for example, I'll just throw a wild card out here. Spain, they take naps in between. Like, that's something that I don't think the brain could be really nurtured if it's like overtired and getting them up at mad hours. Like, some people learn at different rates. You can't judge a fish's ability on how to climb a tree. I think that's a brilliant sign. You know, everyone doing the same test. I think the education system should be looked at, but that's a topic for another video.
That's a different day.
Yeah.
Also, a quick question too. What are the breaks like for schools in America? Because I think that might have a big part to play in it too.
Our USA viewers out there, or anyone from the globe who's moved to America, what is the education system like from your perspective? Even if you went to school years ago as well in America, let us know what it's like down below. How do you feel it is differed from your time to today, or anyone currently in the education system in America? If you found this video by some divine luck, let us know your perspective in the comment section below. Don't be afraid to tell us any type of perspective. We'd love to hear it and talk to you guys.
Absolutely. And if anyone's been in a school in America and a school outside America, tell us what the differences are.
Yep. And what you think is going to happen in the future with teachers. Let us know down below. That's been our 2 cents, and we will chop ourselves out of this.